I am so blessed today. You see the smile on my face? I'm blessed today to have my older son Rick here with me. He has blessed my life all his life. I actually wrote him a Father's Day note one time and said, "You have never, ever disappointed me in your entire life."
Mom, you don't remember half of my childhood. I promise you, I've disappointed you more times than I could possibly ever remember.
You know, I don't remember anything that you ever did that made me unhappy or disappointed or ashamed. You have always been a delight and a joy.
Are you talking about me?
Well, both of you have. But I'm talking about...
Mom, I'm not bipolar. There's only one of me here.
I'm talking about you and Lauren.
Oh, of course. Well,
right now,
Lord knows Lauren hasn't done anything to ever offend anybody.
Nor have you.
Oh, thank you.
Nor
well,
have you.
Welcome to the world of the two perfect sons
Exactly.
that don't exist.
Well, lately you have been writing, you have done lyrics and songs, and you have a book on what do you call that thing? Amazon? Is it Amazon? Your book on diabetes. How do I get that?
Oh, well, they can just write me at thediabetesbook@gmail.com and they'll get a free copy.
Oh, how wonderful.
Thediabetesbook@gmail.com. That's all you got to do. And as soon as I get that little email, it goes bam. And 5 seconds later, it's back in your mailbox.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it's called How Diabetes Saved My Life. It was that moment in my life where life kind of put a gun to my head and said, "Hey, buddy, it's time for you to be changing." So I had to stop a lot of things I was doing. It was hurting me. And part of that was refined sugar, and part of that was high carb foods, and because I didn't have a pancreas.
Well, I don't either. That's why it interests me greatly. Mine is because I'm 93. Yours was because of food you were eating earlier in your life. And I brought you through. I raised you on McDonald's hamburgers and French fries.
Well, I mean, that's what we were all told to do.
Yeah, and we all drank Cokes
everybody knew that
all
things
the time.
go. Everybody knows things go better with Coke and McDonald's and fries and pizzas and 2 cups of sugar to a gallon of tea. That's Tennessee.
And in revival work, we actually served pizza and ice cream and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, and you know what? That was the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it used to be the thing that you'd watch a black and white movie on television, and if the guy wasn't smoking a cigarette and having a drink, it wasn't a movie.
Exactly. And even the girls, I would play like when I was a child.
Yeah.
I would play like with a piece of macaroni or something that I was smoking because
You didn't ever like macaroni, did you?
I saw movie stars doing
You heard
that.
it here, folks. My mom smoked macaroni.
No, I didn't. I played like I was.
Okay,
I
Mom.
played like I was. Recently, when you're in your writings, I've been reading some of your lyrics and your poems,
And they're perfect,
and
just like me.
exactly. But you've gotten some short things that I was going to say myself on Facebook, and then I couldn't remember them. Like something about ego.
Oh, you mean short sayings?
Yeah, short
Oh, well, I'm
sayings.
glad that's what you're talking about, because I'm 6'3".
Short sayings, not short books, short sayings.
Yeah, I try and write a positive new one every day. And I guess that's leaded me into telling a few of them. So that's
Yes,
what
I
I'll
hope
do.
you would.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm following your lead, as usual. Anyway, I like them to be original so that they are kind of standing on their own and maybe novel enough that people repeat them. You know, I don't want them to sound like everything happens for a reason and God's not going to give you more than you can take and all those thousands of times we've heard all those great sayings, and they're true. But I'm trying to say something that's a little more original. Latest, my favorite 2 or 3 are an attitude of gratitude will bring you solitude. I don't think you can be angry, mean, upset, or rude, or envious, or jealous if you're grateful. So being grateful is a big part of me surviving, because I've had a lot of things in my life that could have left me very negative. And I just decide the best way to deal with them is to walk on and be grateful from what I learned from those things. The next one is, if you don't put the time in, you'll tap out. I think that, or timeout, whichever way you want to say it. I think a lot of people just don't put the time in necessary for the desired result. So I try and live every day like it's my last, because one day I'll be right. And I work pretty hard at trying to be grateful and put the time in every day. I don't sleep a whole lot because of that. But as we get older, I'm finding I sleep a lot less. You don't sleep very much at all, do you?
Yeah, I have days when I sleep really well and days when I don't sleep at all.
Yeah.
And I think the Lord lets me make up the time, you know.
Well, that's because you don't punch a clock.
You know, I thought the other night we were at Neely's barbecue place,
Yeah.
and Neely heard you say that about ego,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you still haven't said that.
Yeah, well, okay. You're never a hero until your ego is zero.
Yeah.
The guys who won the Purple Hearts in the wars, they didn't wake up that morning and say, today I'm going to win a Purple Heart. They crawled out of a trench somewhere one day, or a foxhole, and they looked at all the people dying in front of them and decided that those lives were worth more than theirs were. And they just decided to sacrifice themselves to save others. And I think that's why it makes Jesus a hero. I think that's what our job is down here, is to be heroic in our callings. And remember that you're not doing anything by yourself. You don't do anything by yourself in this life. Nothing.
Amen.
And anybody who tells you that they did this all by themselves is lying.
Yes.
You know? So, again, if your ego is zero, you're probably closer to being a hero. That's another way to say it. And those sayings just come to me, and I feel like they're a little gold nugget of sanity in a world that's not very sane these days.
And we're trying to be sane every day and say, God bless you today.
Thanks for stopping.